Theirs with a plural subject? Can I say there's many things? American English in Minutes, lesson number 20. Are these sentences correct? There's a few things wrong here. There's going to be problems with this. Short answer, no. No, these are not grammatically correct. There are a few things wrong here. There are going to be problems with this. Those are the correct forms. But I hear Americans say there's 3 or 4. Yes, you do hear that. Let's get into this. Let's review there is. We use there to mean something exists. It is not a subject. For example, there is a cat on my bed. The subject is a cat. A cat is on my bed. There are many things I want to ask you. The subject is many things, but this might seem strange. The sentence is really, I want to ask you many things. There were no mistakes on your paper. The subject is no mistakes. No mistakes were on your paper. You could also say there weren't any mistakes on your paper. What about the verb? There is a difference between formal, correct grammar and the way people actually talk. For example, my friend and I are listening to this video. The subject case is I, and we put the other person first. This is correct. However, in the real world, many people say, me and my friend are listening to this video. My guess is that this is a mistake we make as children, and it just stays with us. Most adults know it's wrong, but that doesn't stop us from using it. With this in mind, let's look at there plus a verb. There is or there are. There is most often used with be. There is, there are, there was, there were, there will be, etc. Note, etc. and others. We also say there seems to be a problem. There appears to be something wrong. There comes a point when you feel like giving up. Most of the time, though, there is with be. There is a reason for this. There are 3 things here. So far, so good, right? Does it get more complicated? There is a book on the bed and 3 more books on the shelf. There is 1 woman and 2 men waiting to see you. There is a pen and a few pencils on the desk. Now you have more than one thing in the subject. However, the verb matches the first subject in a compound subject. There are 2 cats and 1 dog in the house. There are 3 bicycles and 1 car in the driveway. The verb matches the first subject, even if there is a second subject. But wait, what is theirs? When we talk, we tend to contract or shrink sounds, even if it isn't a real contraction. For example, we say, that'll be the day. That'll is not a real contraction, but we use it. I never believed it'll was a real contraction, but I see it's in the dictionary now. It seems to have become accepted in the 90s. Obviously, theirs is there is. There is no there're for there are. We say it like this. I would say it's unacceptable in writing. With the rise of text messaging, a lot of previously unacceptable written forms are becoming more common. I still do not believe it'll was ever considered a legitimate contraction in the past. So, can I use theirs? Generally, we avoid contractions in formal writing. As a student, I learned to spell the full word out in an academic paper or business letter. I will be in touch, not I'll be in touch. When we talk, Theirs is very common. There's so much I want to tell you. There's big news. There's a big event coming up. There's some coffee in the kitchen. There's an apple on the counter. There's no orange juice. All of these have a singular subject. What if the subject is plural? Can I say, there's some magazines on the coffee table. There's some things I need to talk to you about. There's some questions I wanted to ask you. Are those right or wrong? They're wrong, but it's okay. Personally, I think it's easier to say theirs than it is to say therer. There's many things to do. There are many things to do. Okay, so maybe it's not so hard to pronounce therer, but our brain starts off thinking theirs before we get to the subject. That is my belief. Also, theirs looks good. Therer looks awkward. Let me explain further. We set the sentence up with theirs, and then we try to fill in the subject. There's a problem. There's another thing. There's a few. Oops. Now what? I've already said is, but my subject is going to be plural. Should I go back and begin again with there are a few, or keep going and just let it slide? To let something slide, it's a mistake or a violation, but we overlook it. We don't take any action, even though something is wrong. The man was 20 minutes late to work, but the boss just let it slide. The boss didn't say or do anything about it. We let it slide. For me personally, I've already said theirs, when I realize that my subject is going to need are for the verb instead. I have two choices. I can back up and start over, or I can keep going and let the wrong verb form slide. For example, there's 3 cars. There are 3 cars. Or do I just ignore it? There's 3 cars in the parking lot. At this point, most people just let it slide. In fact, I'd say we've let it slide for so long that many people don't even notice the problem. I am guilty of this. I do it all the time, and I only started noticing when I was teaching a dialogue from a script I wrote. I said, hey, wait, that should be plural. I had typed the sentence as, there's 5 good reasons for it, without even noticing the error. So what do I do? Here's my advice for a non-native speaker, because it's too late for us. If you find yourself making this error, correct it. There are 5 good reasons for it. If you accidentally begin theirs, but realize your subject is plural, start again and say there are. To my fellow native speakers, there's no hope for us. Actually, if you're writing, fix it. You have time. If you're speaking, it's too late. Just keep going. In writing, we would never put there is 5 reasons. It's only when we contract it to theirs that this problem happens. Now, there is some grammar to trouble students. It's only when I do this that this other thing happens. Wait, what was the final answer? Let me add, there's $20 on the table for you. This is correct. There is $20. Dollars is an amount of money, and money is non-count. However, there are 100 cents in a dollar. Not there is 100 cents in a dollar. There is 5 books on the desk. Wrong. There's 5 books on the desk. Also wrong, but it doesn't upset everyone. For many people, we don't even notice we've said it. Correct. There are 5 books on the desk. If you know the rule, follow it. When you grow up hearing it wrong, it becomes a bad habit. There's my explanation of theirs. There's going to be more videos next week. Please keep watching American English in Minutes.